All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Zhouxixi and Arrow, or also known as 120 spawn. Oh, yeah. Let me get all situated here as I am underway. So why is my mic? All right. Yeah, I should have done this earlier, but well, I am now starting to get short on time as game is getting underway. All right, over here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have Zhouxixi spawning as the red night elf. Over here on the bottom right, we have 120 spawning as the blue undead. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to 4 times speed, or at least, yeah, 4 times speed right now. And it looks like it is gonna be Crypt Fiends with a Death Knight coming in from the Undead. Meanwhile, off over to the north, it is a Keeper of the Grove. No surprise, Night Elf players around the world are loving the buff that is the Keeper of the Grove, while all other players are just waiting for a patch and a correction to go ahead and come into place. Archer quickly getting in a lightning shield will be able to deal a lot of damage across both of these units here. A purge onto the force of nature and removes much of its hit points. As we're going to take a look at that renegade wizard. Is it the renegade keeper of the grove? Oh, does get the final shot off. That archer, a split second on time, could have been a split second over, and then could have, well, denied experience, as the lightning shield is technically an enemy attack not cast by the Keeper of the Grove, and therefore would have lost a good bit of experience. Keeper of the Grove now going after these apprentice wizards here. Should be able to take them down no problem. Gonna go ahead and pick up a Mantle of Intelligence, just what the doctor ordered. More mana for that centaur who, well, is going to be tangling things up. Now, in the matchup against Undead, I'm really surprised to still see Keeper of the Grove being such a big, well, commonplace unit. The Keeper of the Grove right now is going to most likely, if I can predict the meta, just try to get to level 3 as quickly as possible, and then use the opportunity to entangle Crypt Fiends until destroyers are pretty much out. Once destroyers are out, though, the Keeper of the Grove's entangle and the force of nature's, the summoning these ents here, are both going to be, well, not that powerful. 2 to 3 destroyers, and then all of a sudden the balance is going to shift, and the undead, who normally likes to play long games anyway, will be able to get a much stronger comeback. Now, the Death Knight is sitting here at level 2, clearing out some more difficult creep camps. Is it actually going to be able to get to level 3? Also, at the in the same token, same breath, are we going to be looking at the Keeper of the Grove getting a Tree of Life here and then trying to play a long economic game as well? Not really sure. Based on the fact that there are a lot of creep camps already cleared here, and the fact that the mercenary camps could hire a lot more units, I do believe this Wisp will try and set up an expansion. No, a Hunter's Hall. All right, apparently I cannot predict the meta at all. Death Knight sitting at level 2 will get to level 3 off of this creep camp here. Crypt Fiend does need to back off. Death Knight, I believe, still got some experience. Lightning Shield going after that rogue right now. Death Knight now sitting at level 3 will be staying at level 3. As we're looking at, well, a handful of more units going to get taken down. All right, Rogue Wizard, down it goes. Last Rogue is going to get taken down here as the Keeper of the Grove shows up to the party. Is it going to entangle? Yep, there is the entangle. Quickly abolished magic, though, so it's Forest Troll Shadow Priest quickly removes that ability. Perhaps the Keeper of the Grove players are just getting more accustomed and more adapted to it. And it may become much more map specific. If your opponent, oh, there's the Tree of Life, it was already completed. If your opponent has access to a very early Forest Troll Shadow Priest, well, then the Keeper of the Grove is going to be doing a lot of damage. Let's take a look. There goes one. Staff of Teleportation, Keeper of the Grove now heading back off to the north. Quickly gets unsurrounded. Forest Troll Shadow Priest makes sure to really break free of that unit right there. Meanwhile, where are the remaining units here? Not very many of them, and this could potentially be a problem. The Forest Troll Shadow Priest trying to heal itself up, trying to stay alive, unable to abolish magic. Death Coil onto the Forest Troll Berserker, as this one Forest Troll Shadow Priest could get taken out. Yes, and down it goes. Now that it is down, we could see more more Entangles onto the Crypt Fiends. Not only does it reduce the amount of damage that's being done since that unit is out of the fight, it is potentially going to kill another unit right there. Keeper of the Grove making its way back over. Is gonna drop the Mantle of Intelligence. Yes, it does. Picks it back up and is now ready to make its way over again. This Entangling Gold Mine getting pressured right here, right now, as more units coming back in from the north. Keeper of the Grove is here, ready to go. There are a couple of events. The gold mine was stopped. There is an Entangled Death Knight now chasing back over. There's another Death Coil, as you're going to see that the Keeper of the Grove with the Ring of Regeneration should be able to, keep up here. Meanwhile, the battling is still raging on. 2 Crypt Fiends are out of the battle. The Keeper of the Grove has a potential for a 3rd Crypt Fiend here as the Alchemist now shows up. Acid Bomb as well, as we are going to be looking at some dead units. All right, let's take a look at this. Keeper of the Grove, I believe another Entangle did go down. There goes one. Are we going to see another? Yes, there goes another. There goes another, as the Death Knight unable to keep these units alive long enough. It looks as though this Crypt Fiend could get a burst heal any second now, or is it just going to get taken down? Not quite sure. There's the Death Coil. 400 hit point heal. Entangled Gold Mine, that should have been constantly trying to been entangled, not happening. Meanwhile, at the other end, a Haunted Gold Mine just now getting started. Alchemist, Keeper of the Grove, supply count 36 to 36. Battling to a standstill, no one having a clear advantage as of yet. Keeper of the Grove now, making its way across. Alchemist with Acid Bomb, so powerful. All it really took was there goes an Entangle, and the death of a Crypt Fiend. All right, Crypt Fiend, 2 more shots should do it. Nope, there it goes. Death Coil was in time. Alchemist could show up to the party, try and Acid Bomb some things. There you go, extra damage. And, any sort of attacks would just get higher and higher now. All right, Acid Bomb should be coming to an end here. That Crypt Fiend trying to slip through. Keeper of the Grove does have enough mana, but he does not want to trade mana right there. A little bit of a slowdown onto the Death Knight, as the Death Knight now down to 79 hit points. Acid Bomb still taking a little bit of a toll, as we could see perhaps a Scroll of or an Entangle onto the Death Knight. Death Knight down to 43 hit points. Forest Troll Shadow Priest going to try and keep that unit alive here, as we could see, wow, a beautiful, beautiful Death Coil just in time. Constantly playing a very, very dangerous game. Crypt Fiends, Death Knights could have fallen many times over, but properly executed strategy is working out well. All right, Alchemist down to 325. Is that Keeper of the Grove going to get a final shot off there? Yes, it will. Getting the Alchemist to level 2, and all that work for just another dead Crypt Fiend. Beautiful micro on both sides. 120, able to save units. Meanwhile, Zhouxixi trying to get into a good spot. You see an Entangle right there happening in a position, it's very difficult for it to actually run away. Ogre Mauler down to 52 hit points. There it goes. It's going to get taken down. Death Coil from 120 saves, as the Crypt Fiend finally able to shake that off. Ogre Mauler now hired up some more units. Acid Bomb. Death Knight could be in trouble. Could get taken down. Is the Acid Bomb... it should have used that Scroll of Town Portal just a bit earlier. Finally, back on Blight. And with that extra hit point regeneration, able to heal back up. Units now looking to back up once more. 37 supplies. Staff of Teleportation. Keeper of the Grove. Go home. And what is he going to do next? There's a Clarity Potion being used. Dropping... I don't know. It has a Clarity Potion again. There are some more Ents now being added. Keeper of the Grove wants to get to level 4. We are only now getting to tier 2. And this is a bit of a head scratcher for me. If you know your opponent has gone Keeper of the Grove, this is an interesting way to go late game for Undead. But then again, Undead players normally have a difficult time setting up expansions. 120, knowing that he wanted to go for a late game, opted to go a late game, very heavy economic expansion early on, as opposed to the traditional heavy tech. Normally, by this stage, you would assume that 120 would have some obsidian statues. The Lich could be out on the field with your tech to tier 3. Instead, we're looking at an Undead army that, well, with beautiful micro, has been able to stay alive. And the question now becomes, how long can 120 have economic equality without his opponent figuring it out? All right, Dark Wizard gonna go ahead and get pressured in here very fast. There is a potion of lesser invulnerability. Why hasn't he used that Book of the Dead yet? Could have been useful. Scroll of the Beast. What's gonna go down? Is there the backpack upgrade? No, there is not. Gonna go ahead and just drop the Mantle of Intelligence instead, and could use the, well, let's take a look at the, there's the Death Coil, saves a unit, gonna go ahead and fight back. The Keeper of the Grove could just say thank you for that Mantle of Intelligence, and, well, nope, the Alchemist going to do it instead. Alchemist with that +3 intelligence. Is that extra mana going to make a difference? Nerubian Tower already done. Ziggurat Tower right behind. We could have some repairs. Double Ziggurat Towers, and this is exactly the spot that you don't want to be fighting in. Druids of the Claw. Death Knight in the backfield. There's a Roar. Should have used Book of the Dead first and then the Roar. That would have been incredibly helpful, as all of those summoned units would have gotten a bonus as well. Death Knight, Death Coil saves the back line Crypt Fiend as opposed to the front line one. Not quite sure what's going on there, as there's the Book of the Dead trying to redraw the lines. All right, by redrawing the lines, did it really do as much? I would have to argue no. If he had used that Book of the Dead earlier, I believe that would have been in a much better spot. Meanwhile, Druid of the Claw in a little bit of trouble. Could it get Staff of Preservation? Yes, it does. It is in time, as the Death Knight now needs to try and back out. Still has a potion of lesser invulnerability. Acid Bomb. Crypt Fiend down to 5 hit points. Is going to be able to get back on Blight in time. Yes. Death Coil saves, as the units are now still going back every which way. All right, go after the Druid of the Claw. That is a much more higher priority target, as it could end up, well, getting a rejuvenation roar before it goes back into that bear form. Death Knight still wandering around here. Skeletal minions. Death Coil could go down onto the Crypt Fiends, trying to micro. 120 trying to micro, trying to come out on top, as the bears, well, chase onto Blight. Crypt Fiend now backing up here. We are at Halls of the Dead. Finally, Lich is going to make its way out, and a big Frost Nova could make a big play here as it shows up onto the party. Death Coil, Frost Nova, dead Alchemist. All right, slow Druid of the Claw. Is it going to get taken out? No, Staff of Preservation. All right, now going out. Death Coil a split second late. But the Frost Nova slowing things up. Death Knight now chasing after the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove going to benefit from some rejuvenation, as the Death Knight, well, says, you know what? I can't afford to be in this race. I am going to back out and let someone else take the lead. Beautiful game going back and forth right now. 56 supply compared to 49. 120 with the current economic advantage. As we were taking a look at, well, the Death Knight unable to, well, will it be, oh, it was able to save that low hit point Crypt Fiend. Is it going to be able to save this one? There's a Death Coil right there. Potion of Mana, 500 hit point heals. And as we go into a necropolis here, why a necropolis? We should be looking into obsidian statues and then eventually destroyers. Still sitting at 49 supply, sitting on 400 gold, researching, or has Burrow. That is the current tech on where they are at, not what they are researching since the, well, it could be Hunter's Hall. Let's see, Hunter's Hall, is it trying to research? Yep, it is actually trying to research that. That is the animation there. That is not what has already been completed. All right, Druids of the Claw. Oh, big problem right there. Staff of Preservation saves, as we are now looking at, well, a little bit of a stun. All right, Lich. Not that much mana. Could have big problems. There's some more rejuvenation. There is the Death Coil finishing off one bear. One bear getting taken out. And that is some of the issues in going for high Well, high supply, high priority, high value units such as bears, losing two bears hurts significantly more than losing even 4 footmen. Alright, Lich gets up to level 3. Death Knight sits at level 5, stealing a bit of experience by not letting the Lich go out to play by itself. Off to the north, Enforcer Assassin. Death Knight should not be anywhere near this fight. The Lich should be trying to get all of this experience by itself. And if this Lich is shy of level 3, well, only 120 only has himself to blame, but it looks like he will in fact get it. There it goes. A level 4 Assassin. Lich now sitting at level 3. Tome of Agility picked back. Wait, not picked up. Armor apparently not very important, as the Death Knight and the Lich go after the Dark Wizard here. Dark Wizard already down to 700 hit points, going to drop extremely fast. Orb of Corruption was not yet purchased, even though we are 7 or 16 minutes into this game. Finally, it gets taken down. Wand of Mana Stealing, not the consumable item he was looking for. Swirl of Town Portal coming back down, and it looks like the Alchemist is going to back away. There's the Rejuvenation. Obsidian Statue right here. Crypt Fiends. There's an Entangle. All right, here you go into the battle. Death Knight, is he going to try and Death Coil that Crypt Fiend? No. No true saving for that Crypt Fiend either, as the Crypt Fiend gets taken out. All right, we could have the death of a bear. Bear goes down. I don't believe any experience was given. There are a lot of towers here, and I'm scratching my head at why Zhouxixi is even in this fight right now, as it is losing a lot of units. There, one bear. Oh, no, there's a burrowed Crypt Fiend. That is not a bear. Crypt Fiend backs up here. Let's take a look. Low hit point, Drew to the Claw, but the Acid Bomb, Acid Bomb was not affecting him because, well, that was a friendly unit. Druid to the Claw now needing to go into Druid form, needs to get a lot more mana, get some rejuvenations before going back over here. Meanwhile, burrowed Crypt Fiends playing a game of whack-a-mole, always difficult as, the units are on the move again. Death Knight, Lich, 5-3, going up against a Keeper of the Grove and Alchemist, 4-3. A lot Acid Bomb causing some problems throughout as we are taking a look. Well, battle information, battle ready, 120, able to head back over here to the bottom left. All right, we could have a potential Creepjack situation. No, decides to back away, knowing that he can't get over there in time. Meanwhile, some Ents are already making their way over, and he wants to go after this, I guess, Tree of Life expansion first, making sure that his opponent has not expanded into that location there. All right, Assassins, just take them down. Come on, a handful of attacks would have finished him off. There goes one, there goes 2 attacks. Down they go. Death Knight still stealing experience. Death Coil finishing off a Wisp on the other side, as we're looking at a Tree of Life which may get cancelled so that there is no expansion. Meanwhile, back across over here, what unsummoning of some key buildings. Interesting. Crypt getting unsummoned right there. And we're looking at, well, some Ents getting destroyed. Back off to the north here, Tree of Life. Lich gets the additional armor, finishes off that Wisp. Nope, a detonation coming across. 62 supply compared to 65. All right, destroyers are up in the air. Only one destroyer being used. You don't want to go too heavy into destroyers. As you know, Night Elf players already have the perfect counter in Dryads for those destroyers. And with Dryads out on the field, the last thing you want is your heroes and destroyers versus your opponent's heroes and Dryads. Another Wisp getting taken out in the middle portion of the map. Death Knight still deciding that he wants to be part of the action, even though he can't, get any more experience whatsoever. Lich, I believe, would have been at level 4 by now if he was able to, creep in peace. Lich going to be coming in from this side, and I like this strategy by 120. 120's attacking from the west while expanding at the west, knowing that, hey, I'm gonna buy myself time for this expansion. If I can get it into a draw, I am still in a good spot. The Acolyte, however, should be summoning a gold mine already, as the main gold mines are nearing completion. Down to 300 here, 200 here. That means, well, less than 20 seconds before all of that will be finished. Crypt Fiends, the obsidian statues in the backfield, only one destroyer in the air. Interesting. As the Keeper of the Grove, what is going on here? The Keeper of the Grove going to stay nearby. This Crypt Fiend is 3-1 upgraded and still has a good amount of armor, taking damage over time though, as this Necropolis is now done. All right, the Necropolis will come to an end. The Tree of Life over here on the bottom left, and I'm not quite sure why he didn't choose to engage. All right, Necropolis acolytes are not making their way off to the north. Abomination joining in on the fight. You can see a Tree of Life quickly going to get taken down. There it goes. And now we are going to be having a fight not near any towers. There's an entangle onto a Crypt Fiend. Destroyer easily devours that up as acolytes are now being brought over. All right, Keeper of the Grove being brought over. And is this Necropolis just meant as a teleportation point? That could be the entire purpose, just so he can teleport off to the north if his opponent tries to get there. 350 gold to pretty much move your entire army halfway across the map, and that is, well, a pretty smart call. Hippogriffs are upgraded 3-2 as well, as the Crypt Fiends are at 3-1 upgrades and, well, getting the level 2 Carapace upgrades. Haunted Goldmine now finally getting up there. Shade trying to slip through. Keeper of the Grove still seeing that level 4. Mountain Giants joining in on the fight, as this is going to be, well, a high priority battle. 3-3 upgrades could be in store. Hippogriffs are going to be able to finish those upgrades in time. 92 supply compared to 89. No, those numbers are not from a StarCraft 2 game. You are actually seeing 90 supply armies trying to battle it out here in WarCraft 3. Abomination in trouble. Death Knight, Death Coil saves. Devour Magic. Go ahead and absorb this. Hippogriff trying to chase as the Abomination gets taken down. Hippogriff just shy of level 5. Necropolis mining back across over here. Tree of Eternity joins in on the fight. And with the Tree of Eternity here, what can really be done? Tree of Eternity gonna chase after this. You're gonna take a look. A bunch of hippogriffs are here, but you gotta be careful. Hippogriffs with roar, that is all gonna get devoured extremely fast, and then you're gonna get a bunch of, well, a bunch of units that have a bunch of destroyers that have mana. Here we are. There's the upcoming fight. Ents, trees. Here we go. Here's the engagement. Alchemist, web going down. Who's gonna win out in the fight first? Blight. Not enough of it as we are fighting it out here. So far, Mountain Giants trying to join in on the fight. Hippogriff able to finish off one target, and now the Hippogriffs are just standing there doing absolutely nothing. So many Hippogriffs completely neutralized by the sheer fact that there are no destroyers. The destroyers, well, can the Crypt Fiends, however, win this battle by themselves, as it looks like they are getting torn apart by Abomination, or by those Druids of the Claw. Death Knight in the front line here. Massive Hippogriffs continuing to get webbed down here. The Obsidian statues in the background are saying, you know what, I can join in with a little bit of magic damage. Sure, why not? Lich continuing the fight back here. Obsidian statues are all here as well. Low hit point. Crypt Fiend should be backing up, trying to micro all of these units. 92 supply compared to 76. 120 has lost more. No surprise here, but then again, a lot of those Hippogriffs are still not in the fight. Death Knight could be in trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability finally being used. Lich trying to fight its way back out, trying to finish off unit after unit, and it's actually getting kills onto some of those other units. Death Knight does get up to level 6. Is it going to be able to stay alive? There's a roar right there, and the Abomination is still fighting. Death Knight finally uses a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get out of a bad situation, and it is going to be able to teleport out, but where is it going to go? Back down here, you see 120 should be hunting this gold mine here in just a second. Meanwhile, back off to the north, the Tree of Eternity is going to be some time before it can entangle there. The economic advantage is still belonging to Undead, as this haunted gold mine is preventing mining. Death Knight now makes its way off and over. Obsidian statues, well, a lot of them are here ready to go. Death Knight says, you know what, I'll finally back off from this creep camp. just because I want to stay on Blight. Nope, I'm going to make my way over for just a little bit so I steal a little bit of experience again. Mantle of Intelligence. All right, drops an item. Vampiric Aura. Mantle of Intelligence on the Lich, up to 555 mana. Meanwhile, back off to the north here. Haunted Goldmine, not getting attacked. Keeper of the Grove wants to make its way over. Supplies, army size, 72 compared to 80. Who has more gold? Night Elf has more gold still, as we are still mining away. This mining over here on the bottom left just now getting started. All right, Acolyte looking to back off here. Acolyte could end up getting taken down. As you can take a look, we could be fighting here, which could end up becoming a problem since it is a Blight. That is a significant advantage for the Undead for natural regeneration. All right, Obsidian Statues joining here on the fight again. Crypt Fiends are upgraded 3-2. And here we are. Here we go into the fight. Mountain Giants, however, with medium armor, well, very, very difficult to take down with a mass army of Crypt Fiends. Massive number of webs coming across. As you can take a look, more and more units. Destroyers are in the backfield, and it looks like, well, there could be enough Hippogriffs taken out to allow the Destroyers to do their thing. Ents are now making their way over across. Destroyers, could they try and devour more magic again? Crypt Fiends trying to drop down units constantly as the Mountain Giants are just chasing them into a corner. Death Knight does have a potion of mana. Is he able to save anything? Death Coiled onto the Abomination. No, not in time, as the Destroyers are getting Death Coiled and trying to get saved here. All right, finishing off a handful of Hippogriffs, and there they go. All the Hippogriffs are pretty much now down, as we are now going into the Mountain Giants. Mountain Giants are going to have some problems. Should really be going after bears. Staff of Preservation on one of those bears. There goes another Hippogriff, as Tranquility now being used. Death Knight says, you know what? I don't want to stick around in this fight. Can I finish off that bear? Is he going to finish it off? Yes, it does. One final shot finishes it off, as 120, well, gets out of a bad situation. All right, let's take a look. Dryads, all these units now making their way over. 57 compared to 72. This Entangled Goldmine still has a little bit of time. Death Knight needs to rebuild back up. Zhouxixi is in a good spot. Death Knight's level 6 ultimate ability really not all that it's cracked up to be. And the reason why I say that is, Raise Undead is an ability that says if you are winning in a fight, you are winning more. Very, well, if you are killing your, well, I guess you can do it on your own units as well. So I guess you could have tipped things in favor. We'll see if it actually comes across that way, as this gold mine, well, these gold mines still only have 2 minutes of mining left. It is going to come down to the final gold mines in the corner here on Tyrannus Stand. Ents are making their way over. Going to try to get some damage onto these units, but the Acolytes should just be able to play round robin for a little bit and still stay alive. 71 supply compared to 84. 88 now. Gold is being spent. What was bought, no, population still staying about the same, as the units are now getting into position. Ents getting taken out very quickly. Down, well, nope, that was Time Life. As the Destroyers are now making their way off to the north. Abomination, ready to go. 3 Mountain Giants, fully upgraded Mountain Giants with medium armor. That is absolutely scary. Hippogriffs coming in from the other side. There you go. Gonna go ahead. Big Frost Nova across multiple targets, webbing down multiple units, and the Hippogriff army is going to instantly pretty much just fall apart. Death Knight could Death Coil, does save. That Death Coil looks like it barely healed the units, but, well, the overall maximum hit points of Abomination is the reason why. Death Knight, Death Coils again. 4 Mountain Giants in the front line trying to fight back here. That Abomination is going to be doing a bit of retreating again, as the Destroyers are still chasing. Abomination gets another Death Coil. It really should not be in that front line spot, as it is trying to sneak away. Is it going to be able to do very much? Keeper of the Grove finishes off the Abomination finally, as the Death Knight is still amongst all of those units here. Hippogriffs chasing after the targets. Lich, well, there goes another big Frost Nova. More Abominations joining in. 88 supply compared to 67. Night Elf with the clear lead right now, as the Hippogriffs are going to be poking apart those Destroyers. All right, who's going to come out on top? The Destroyer ends up getting taken down. Hippogriffs trying to find more targets again. as the Hippogriffs are finally getting taken down. Well, another Tranquility being used by the Keeper of the Grove, healing all of those friendly targets back up again. 54 supply compared to 82. A Druid of the Claw does get taken out, but I believe the war of attrition is on Zhouxixi's side. 120, not going to be able to do very much as the Lich, even at level 5 with big Frost Novas, not enough to fight back against the sheer number of 10 armor mountain giants, and there is the game. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed them.